Welcome to Marja Times. Today we take you to one of the world's most strategic waterways, the Red Sea, where rising tensions are reshaping global trade, regional power dynamics, and the economic future of several nations. Stretching from the Suez Canal in the north to the Bab el-Mandeb Strait in the south, the Red Sea has always been a vital artery for global commerce. But in recent years, geopolitical competition, security threats, and shifting alliances have turned this maritime corridor into a hotspot watched closely. For the next minutes, we will break down what is driving these tensions, examine why the Red Sea is so critical to international trade routes, and explore how ongoing instability affects economic growth in Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. The Red Sea's importance begins with its geography. It serves as the primary link between Europe and Asia. Through the Suez Canal, one of the most heavily trafficked maritime passages in the world. Every day, billions of dollars worth of goods, fuel, raw materials, and manufactured products pass through these waters. Nearly 12% of global trade and over 30% of traffic move along this route. For major exporters like China, India, and Gulf countries, as well as energy consumers in Europe and Africa, the Red Sea is not just a shipping lane, it is a lifeline. Any disruption, even for a few hours, can send shockwaves across global markets, raise shipping costs, and affect commodity prices worldwide, as witnessed during the 2021 blockage of the Suez Canal. However, geopolitical tension has become increasingly severe. Conflicts in Yemen have spilled into the Red Sea, with attacks on commercial ships highlighting fears for maritime security. Rival regional powers like Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, and Israel maintain military interests in the area, each seeking influence over the sea lanes. International actors including the United States, China, and European countries have established bases or deployed warships to secure their interests. This concentration of military presence has transformed the Red Sea into one of the most militarized maritime routes in the world, reflecting growing competition over strategic choke points such as the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The Bab el-Mandeb itself, only 32 kilometers wide, is a pressure point in global logistics. Any threat there can force ships to redirect around the Cape of Good Hope, adding nearly 2 weeks of travel time and millions of dollars in costs. For developing nations dependent on import and export flows, especially East African countries such as Ethiopia, Djibouti, Eritrea, and Sudan, these disruptions have immediate economic consequences. Rising insurance premiums, delayed shipments, and rerouted cargo put stress on national budgets and threaten food security. This explains why Horn of African countries closely monitor Red Sea developments, recognizing that their economic stability is directly linked to maritime peace. Meanwhile, competition for influence is extending beyond security and into infrastructure. Gulf nations and global powers are investing heavily in Red Sea ports, naval hubs, and logistics corridors. Saudi Arabia's NEOM mega project, Egypt's Suez Canal zone, Djibouti's fast-expanding port system, and Ethiopia's search for reliable sea access all highlight how the Red Sea is becoming a center of economic ambition. Whoever controls or influences the flow of trade along this corridor stands to gain significant geopolitical leverage, shaping alliance and economic partnerships across Africa and the Middle East. Yet, with the opportunity comes risk, pricey threats, ongoing conflicts, regional rivalries, and a great power competition create a fragile environment where miscalculations can escalate quickly. The world's dependence on the Red Sea means that any prolonged instability could trigger global supply chain crisis, rise oil prices, and slow economic growth, especially for emerging economies. For this reason, international diplomacy has intensified, with global powers pushing for maritime security cooperation and mechanisms that ensure the free movement of goods. The future of the Red Sea will depend heavily on the ability of nations to de-escalate tensions, secure key checkpoints, and build a cooperative framework that prioritizes economic stability over political competition. The Red Sea's importance begins with its geography. It serves as the primary link between Europe and Asia. Through the Suez Canal, one of the most heavily trafficked maritime passages in the world. Every day, billions of dollars worth of goods, fuel, raw materials, and manufactured products pass through these waters. Nearly 12% of global trade and over 30% of traffic move along this route. For major exporters like China, India, and Gulf countries, as well as energy consumers in Europe and Africa, the Red Sea is not just a shipping lane, it is a lifeline. Ladies and gents, thank you for joining us for this in-depth look at the growing tensions in the Red Sea and far-reaching implications of global trade and economic growth. As the world becomes more interconnected, the stability of vital routes like the Red Sea determines the economic well-being of millions. Stay tuned to our channel for more global analysis, deep dives, and geopolitical insights. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it informative. Until next time, thank you for watching.